Good day to all. Welcome to Extreme Recap. A girl by the name of Qing Tian is forced to go to a job interview by her stepmother at the beginning of the story. As they enter a lift, the insatiable lady means to employ her as a guardian for an extremely rich individual and save all of the cash for herself. On Qing Tian, the stepmother applies lipstick strongly. The last option makes an endeavor to deviate. It is incognizant in regards to guarantee that the business. Therefore, lipstick is irrelevant. On the other hand, her evil stepmother is having none of it. She just has to guarantee everything goes as organized as they leave the lift. The wealthy are talked about. House CEO, Ming has been observing their conversation. At the same time, several girls are waiting in the office for the job interview. When Qingtian arrives, Ming begins touching her face and body, making her feel uneasy, so she decides to leave. Qingtian is the first person called. However, Ming asserts that when he places her on his lap, he cannot see. He merely desired to observe her appearance. Qing Tian responds in anger by stating that she is not interested in the position. Regardless, when and how Ming learns that he heard what she said in the elevator. She leaves because she is nervous. At some point from there on, she is having an awkward dinner with her stepmother and stepsister. Chin, to break the silence. She claims that she won't be employed because of how badly the interview went. Shin, that being said, who also turns out to be a thief and claims she wants to live a life of luxury, so Qingtian is forced to accept the position anyway. As the argument gets out of hand, Qingtian receives an unexpected phone call. It's the successful CEO. How determined she is to ignore it. Nonetheless, Shin Jin or whoever has that voice picks it up. Hao Ming tells her that if she wants the job, she has to come to his house. Qing Tian would rather not go in about 15 minutes. However, she agrees when her family exerts pressure on her. She tells them when she gets to Helmingham's house that her stepmother had signed the contract without her consent and that she still refuses to work for him. Maine, on the other hand, asserts that the funds have already been deposited into her stepmother's account. Qing Tian states that she couldn't care less and leaves. But how does Ming get so enraged that he orders his assistant to hide in a locker in a storeroom? In the next scene, Qingtian is held captive in a dim storeroom while he screams and begs for help. In any case, nobody helps her. She is fortunate to have discovered a torchlight and started looking around the room. She can't get out, but she does find a picture of Ming with a woman from a long time ago. The next morning, the assistant arrives and removes Qingtian from the storage area. Hao Ming keeps her informed of his daily schedule and the responsibilities she must perform frequently. He similarly makes reference to that she ought to live in his home and to association him any spot he goes. A while later, Helming slips and falls while boxing when he trips over his wheelchair. When Qing Tian hears this, Hao Ming slams her to the ground and she immediately laughs. They quickly get into a second fight, during which they slander each other. Ultimately, when she has had enough, out of resentment, she stomps out of the room. A few seconds later, the assistant approaches Qingtian and tries to comfort her. She constantly talks about herself and says that she will soon be leaving her job. Working for someone who behaves so rudely is difficult. On the other hand, the assistant claims that Helming is in fact a generous individual who always tries to assist others. He tragically lost both eyes in an accident as a result of his ex-girlfriend's excessive drinking. After that, the lustful woman bid him farewell and stated that she was unable to remain with a visually impaired person. How, regardless of having the option to walk ordinarily, Ming has stayed dependent on a wheelchair from that point forward. Hearing this, it is somewhat moved to Qing Tian. After that, she makes a number of attempts to get Ming to stand up. However, despite using an excuse or having his assistant assist him, the wealthy CEO simply refuses to leave his wheelchair. Afterward, Qing Tian gets something with his hands and says it's a cockroach. Making him free for all and tumble to the ground as Hao Ming pursues his wheelchair, she snatches it away. As a result, he finally feels compelled to stand. Between times, Qingtian's stepmother and stepsister are living it up spending the money she secures from her work. They visit a mall and are insulted by several individuals for purchasing shoes at a deal. Xingxin tells her mother to take more money from Qingtian because she only wants to wear designer shoes now. Notwithstanding, When Qingtian goes into Ming's room while he is evolving garments, she rapidly shuts her eyes out of humiliation. Nonetheless, what number of solicitations does she get to help him in choosing garments? Qingtian hesitantly concurs. While she is shopping for clothes, he abruptly grabs her and begins to express his gratitude to her. He claims that she enabled him to finally exit his wheelchair. Additionally, he asserts that she is the most kind person he has ever met. He wants to be her girlfriend as a result. His charm dumbfounds Qingtian deeply. And while she gets ready to respond, to be sure, the quantity of starts that chuckling and tells her that he was basically playing. Unsurprisingly, this Qingtian of rage prompted her to storm out of the room. Lin, Holling's ex-girlfriend, sends him an invitation to her wedding. Realizing that this is the ideal opportunity to retaliate against her, he immediately accepts the invitation and invites Qingtian along. The movie then cuts out the wedding ceremony. In any case, Lin approaches the steering wheel and begins to reflect on their past. In his icy response, he claims to have a sweetheart. Now, notice how Ming says that Qingtian is the best thing he's ever done while holding her hand. He also expressed his gratitude for Lin's departure, noting that he had never met a more beautiful woman. Alternatively, in response, Lin causes Qingtian to feel awful by bringing up how severely she looks and saying that assuming men saw her, they wouldn't accompany her. She tries to make sense of the fact that she just had this dress, but he ignores her and leaves. The number of schools that Jialin Chang for humiliating his sweetheart. Following the incident, Tian starts crying and stumbling aimlessly through the streets, distracting everyone. Hao Ming calls her at night to inquire about her absence. Nevertheless, Qingtian informs him that she is resigning. Understanding that she is currently free, she lets out a murmur of help as she hangs up the telephone. However, she receives a second call at the exact same time. While she is away on vacation, her avaricious stepmother is responsible for it. Because she observes that our cart is full, the woman advises Qingtian to request an advance from her supervisor. The latter tries to explain that she has resigned from her job, but the phone disconnects before she can say that she has no choice. When Qingtian returns to Hummingbird's house, she argues for her jaw to be returned. She professes her sincere apologies for whatever transpired and requests a second chance, promising not to commit the same mistakes in the future. Despite this, Qingtian plans to pack her belongings to leave the following day, but the coworker shows up and prevents her from doing so. From that point onward, he takes her to a huge storeroom loaded up with shoes and fashioner garments that Maine has set up for her. Likewise, he acquaints Qingtian with her new beautician, who will help her in keeping up with her shocking appearance. After that, Qingtian tries on various outfits and undergoes a makeover. There, she meets Hao Ming. When the assistant says that she is wearing a lovely dress and takes his hand to feel her face, Ming is delighted. In the following scene, Xinjun is relaxing in a spa when she finds a picture of Ming dressed in his manner in a magazine. She informs her mother that she needs to meet Qingtian when they return because she is completely awestruck by his appearance. A few days later, the two travel to Ming's house to meet Qingtian. However, upon seeing the wealthy CEO, Xin becomes completely captivated by his appearance and begins daydreaming about him. After that, they go inside to meet Qingtian, who is there with her stylist at the moment. When they see her huge closet full of clothes and shoes, her stepmother and stepsister are shocked. Qingtian requests that Ming take a stroll with her when he tracks down Ming sitting alone soon thereafter. She decides to take him to her past school. On the way, Qingtian claims that she has always aspired to be an artist. Nonetheless, because of monetary imperatives, she couldn't go to classes. She also admits that she used to work low-paying jobs like cleaning bathrooms and floors to earn enough money to pay her bills. After waiting a while, they eventually quietly sneak up on the school. When two security guards arrive, they quickly retreat into a corner. This is how Ming finds out that his main dream is to see her in person. This makes Qingtian feel moved. Additionally, they end up kissing. The following day, when Humming sees his doctor, he informs him that a pair of corneas that are identical have been discovered. Hearing this again, he might be able to see how, if the procedure goes well, Ming becomes static and consents immediately. In addition, he gives Qingtian a hug and says he will see her soon. A Xin obsessed later. Shin's mom moves toward her and educates her regarding data with respect to Men's forthcoming medical procedure. She adds that if everything goes according to plan, he will regain his vision as soon as Shin arrives. Because Qin Tian resembles almost exactly her stepsister, Shin gets the impression that she wants to take Qin Tian's place. In the accompanying scene, Hao Ming awakens from his medical procedure upon the arrival of the method prior to going into the working room. Hao Ming informs Chung Tian that when he wakes up, she will be the first person he sees. Shortly thereafter, Xingxin calls Qing Tian, notifying her of the accident and requesting her immediate appearance. Qing Tian and the assistant immediately take a car to the indicated location. However, we were unable to locate Shenzhen, which came as a surprise. The wicked stepsister appears in a vehicle and keeps on striking Qingtian, yet the partner intervenes and gets hit, taking everything into account. Qingtian, on the other hand, slips and falls on the street. Thereafter, Qingtian mixes just to end up connected to a bed. Shenzhen and her stepmother approached her and informed her that she would no longer be permitted to go outside. Qingtian makes every effort to leave, claiming that she needs to be with Ming. However, Xin will take her place, as stated by her stepmother. After the procedure, he gave Xin a heartfelt hug. Assuming she is the one, the two of them begin living together as a couple. How many people even make Xin marriage proposals that she happily accepts while Qing Tiang is still in prison? When Jintian finally emerges from her captivity after a week, she dashes straight to Helming's office. However, as soon as she sees him, she collapses from exhaustion. When Qing Tian wakes up, she finds her stepmother by her side. The last option is that Jialin Jia tried to kill herself, but she survived in some way or another. However, if Qing Tian approaches her, she will think about repeating it. By saying this, the evil stepmother begs Qing Tian to leave Ming so that her sister can live in peace. After careful consideration, she agrees. Qing Tian discovers the chief when he attends a new employee screening a few days later. She is forming a partnership with Ming's business, despite her promise not to see him again. Qing Tian accepts a job because she has money. She begins to perceive men consistently as a result of this. Qing Tian regularly encounters sensations of feeling, however she stays under control and go on with her work. In any case, one day the wicked Xinchen approaches her and begins to pursue her for being there. Because she has had enough, Qing Tian responds by slapping her stepsister across the face. Xin takes this opportunity to act like he is unconscious. So the way that Ming needs to take her to the crisis facility. He then scolded Qingtian for hurting his fiancé. Furthermore, these words are seriously affecting Tian, even calling her fixated. She decides to quit her job later that night as a result. He gets right to the point when his former assistant, who was in a coma, calls and immediately explains everything about the accident. In addition, the assistant reveals that the helmswoman is in a relationship with a fake person. After that, we are taken to the wedding day, which is attended by a large number of people. Shin, her mom, and Shin are thrilled that their desires have been understood. She screams into the microphone, but, just as the couple is about to say their vows, some police officers arrive at the scene and arrest the couple. As she begs Helming for assistance, she declares her sincere love for him. However, Dogging orders the police to remove her and accuses her of cheating. How many people check the route to Qingchang school in the final scene and look for her? When he sees her cleaning the floor later, he throws a ring. Hao Ming appears in front of Qing Tiang as she picks it up and inquires about its owner. The ring is then placed on her finger by him at that point. The happy couple kiss and embrace each other to complete the scene. Turn on notifications, please subscribe for more videos like this, and like the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.